Hello, I'm Vincent Yu, Mayor of Temple City, a wonderful place that we all love to call home. Thank you for joining me to discuss the 2022 State of the City. I want to start by acknowledging and thanking my fellow City Council colleagues who have provided me with support and exemplified great leadership throughout this year. Mayor Pro Tem Cynthia Sternquist, Councilmember Tom Chavez, Councilmember William Min, and Councilmember Fernando Vizcarra. I would also like to acknowledge our commissioners, city volunteers, city manager, city attorney, city staff, the county sheriff and fire departments, and so many community partners for their contributions to the city's accomplishments and success. While I currently serve here as mayor, I'm here representing my city council colleagues and staff to report to you, our residents and businesses, the accomplishments of this past year. I thank my City Council colleagues and staff for allowing me to represent all of them in this virtual format. I have to say, the circumstances in which I'm addressing the residents and businesses of Temple City are not exactly ideal. Just like our remotely held council meetings for the last 18 months, I don't have a live audience in the council chamber with me, and I wish I could see you face to face. Nevertheless, I'm happy to have you here with us as you tune in from the safety and comfort of your own home. If 2020 was a year of disruption and uncertainty, 2021 was a year of adaptation and innovation in Temple City. As we conclude the second year of the pandemic, I'm glad to report that we have met the challenges of serving the community head-on with lessons learned from 2020. Like a well-oiled engine of a train chugging along the tracks, I think of Temple City as a little city that could. I couldn't be prouder of how our city not only managed to stay on track with maintaining services to the residents, but successfully navigated the obstacles and opportunities that came our way. I would like to focus on the little city that could. Imagine the city as a train engine and its different train cars. The topics we will discuss tonight: community well-being, public health and safety, city planning and housing, economic development, financial health, and infrastructure are all critical components that allow this Temple City train to keep moving forward, providing essential services to our residents. As we enter each phase of this pandemic, I'm assured by the fact that our city continues to stay on course by following our public health authorities' recommendations. Temple City's vaccination rates are, as of this address, at 81%. I cannot stress enough the importance of keeping our families and our communities safe by getting vaccinated and boosted so that we may continue to enjoy the beloved city traditions and events in person. One of the highlights of 2021 in Temple City was the return to some in-person events. There's no better way to feel the spirit and see the fabric of community than to gather at city events. Our Parks and Recreation Department went above and beyond in its commitment to bring back the traditions that we so missed. It goes without saying that the return of our Concerts in the Parks series brought great joy to the community. And so, from July to September of 2021, we welcomed 7 performers to our Performing Arts Pavilion and hundreds of attendees to safely enjoy music and dance during the warm summer months. It was wonderful to see lawn chairs once again covering Temple City Park. If it is safe to do so, we'll look forward to the day we can attend these concerts again. In 2021, not only did we get to enjoy Concerts in the Park in person, but we also get to enjoy movies in the park for a whole month. We also saw the return of a fall festival and classic car show. We got to salute and honor our Temple City veterans at the Veterans Day celebration. And we topped the year off with a festive and magical Lights on Temple City event. The City Council and I hold these events near and dear to our hearts, and they are now precious memories that are truly the silver lining of these uncertain times. Let us hold our hopes still that we may continue holding these events in 2022. Nevertheless, the city would continue to be vigilant and nimble with our city policies and operations in serving the public, while at the same time maintaining safety as a highest priority for both staff and patrons at these events. In addition to continuing to provide our usual quality of service to residents, additional services that were born out of the pandemic also continue in 2021. Last year, the city delivered 36,000 meals directly to the homes of seniors. I would like to acknowledge our Parks and Recreation staff for providing this essential service to our seniors throughout the pandemic. In addition, our Dial Ride shuttle service remains a valuable resource for our senior citizens to get around. Last year, over 4,500 rides were given to seniors who needed to go to doctor's appointment, get the grocery shopping done, and even to hair appointments. Our Parks and Recreation Department also continued to host a popular monthly family trivia nights over Zoom to make sure we were keeping everyone safe while still hosting our more popular events. We conducted hybrid drive-thru events for Halloween and Easter. The popularity and interest in programs that serve the community at large show why Temple City is not only a safe community, but a community that provides services that all can participate and enjoy. In addition to in-person service at City Hall, each of the city departments also continue to build out online services to continue more accessibility to our residents and customers. The Parks and Recreation Department started electronic newsletter blasts to keep people informed and updated on recreation programming that was impacted by the virus. Our public safety team continued to successfully host virtual neighborhood watch meetings to keep our community informed and vigilant against crime. I also must mention another virtual event born of the pandemic that brought so much joy to the children of Temple City. We held our second Zoom with Santa event this year. Over 65 children, ages 2 to 12, got a chance to chat with Santa and share their hopes and wishes. This event is another wonderful example of using innovative ways to keep the season's magic alive with the assistance of technology. As we rely more and more on utilizing online tools to serve our citizens and visitors, I am excited to share that Temple City has started the redesign process for the city's website. Much of the public's first interaction with our city is via the internet, and their first impression of Temple City is really what they have gleaned from visiting our website at templecity.us. During the pandemic, we saw much higher traffic on our website as people booked City Hall appointments, submitted building and planning forms, requested services, and checked the city's coronavirus situation summaries. Our new website will be optimized for mobile use, more accessible and in compliance with the American Disabilities Act, more accessible to our diverse community, easier to navigate, which will provide a much better experience to our visitors to the virtual City Hall. Improving our city's technological infrastructure is an important investment for the city. As we learn to adapt quickly to changes in our operations due to the pandemic, more than ever, we're relying on technology to better serve our residents and customers. As a city, we're always looking for ways to improve and optimize our workflow for more efficiency. Last year, we also completed our small business and temporary rent relief grant programs. I'm proud to say the city was able to provide $211,000 worth of rent relief to 71 low-income households affected by COVID-19. In addition, the city issued $372,000 worth of grants to 50 small businesses in the city. This is equivalent to 58 low-income jobs or 42 full-time positions. Here's Josh Ramirez, co-owner of Temple City Barbershop, on how this grant had helped this business.
I was thinking of getting another job during the pandemic when it was really hard. With our type of business, it's really hard to distance ourselves with the customer and being open on and off. So that was kind of tricky for us because we didn't really know how everything was going to work out. I found out about the grant on social media with Connect with Temple City. They posted that there was a CARE Act grant. I jumped on it and I messaged the city. They gave me all the information, what to do, all the steps, and we've been here for 7-8 years. I knew Temple City was gonna help us out. The process was really easy. We just had to basically show proof that we're a small business in the city and just send over all the paperwork, and we got accepted right away. We at Temple City Barbershop, we received about $8,000. We used it by paying rent and small other bills that we had, and it was very important to us to have that comfort zone knowing that the business was being paid for. With the CARE Act grant, it helped us out a lot by basically resetting back to a fresh start. If we didn't receive the CARE Act, we would have been struggling and we would have probably lost the business. And with the grant, it was a huge help because we probably would have been closed. But thankfully we received it and we're still able to provide for our families. It feels amazing to still be part of this amazing community here and having the doors open.
I would like to thank Josh for being such an active and integral member of our community and for providing us with his firsthand experience with the city's Relief Grants program. I'm so happy to hear this grant was of help to Temple City Barbershop. Our Community Development Department worked tirelessly last year to update the city's housing element. The housing element is essential because it creates programs and policies that preserve, improve, and develop housing in the city. The housing element, which is required by the state of California, can determine the shape, the pattern, and the density of housing development within a community. City staff and the Planning Commission have taken a thoughtful and careful approach in developing the housing element that reflects the community input given over the last several years, balancing the needs of housing demands while at the same time maintaining the characteristics that make Temple City a desirable community for all. Last April, the city joined the San Gabriel Valley Regional Housing Trust as an affiliate member to support its mission to increase the supply of affordable housing in the overall region. This is an important step in the right direction for us. The Regional Housing Trust was formed 2 years ago and has since applied for state funding for hundreds of affordable housing units in surrounding cities. $20 million had been earmarked in the state budget to go to the San Gabriel Valley Regional Housing Trust to help with construction and completion of affordable housing development across the San Gabriel Valley. Temple City also received permanent local housing allocation funding from the state to give a much-needed boost to our popular home renovation grant and loan program. Last October, the City Council approved almost $200,000 worth of funding to be allocated for accessibility improvements to lower-income homeowners in Temple City. This means the city will provide grants of up to $25,000 for lower-income homeowners to fix up their restrooms or build ramps or handrails to make their homes more accessible and livable, so that our residents may age in place and stay in the homes they have lived in for decades. One of the challenges we faced as a city was to implement new state laws that were beyond the city's control but still must be followed. California's state legislature has been working to increase the state's affordable housing supply. Senate Bill 9 was recently signed into law, which will require cities and counties to approve applications to subdivide each single-family lot into 2 lots and to allow the construction of 2 units on each new lot. In other words, an R1 zone single-family lot could potentially have 4 residential units. The City Council, in considering how these changes could affect the city, moved swiftly to pass an ordinance in December to further address issues not included in the new state measures to mitigate some unintended consequences of this new law. The city's action addresses impacts not fully thought through in SB 9 by ensuring the affordability of new urban dwellings, meeting regional housing needs allocation goals, addressing environmental impacts including reduction in greenhouse gases, air pollution and traffic, and most importantly, addressing neighborhood compatibility. These vital components of the ordinance go further than the state to make sure housing remains affordable by requiring the new urban dwellings to be provided at low and very low income rates. It is important to the City Council that the city complies with the state's new objective of increasing affordable housing, yet balancing the state's mandate with local measures most optimal and suitable for our city. Many Temple Cityans and visitors to the city may be curious about future developments around town. Both ground has been broken and construction is beginning on a 73-unit mixed-use development at 5570 Rosemead Boulevard, which begins to fulfill the goals of the Crossroads specific plan that the city and the community worked so hard on for many years. And finally, plans are underway for a new grocery store tenant at a former Kmart site. These exciting developments will no doubt add to the vibrancy of Temple City's commercial zones. While we're thrilled about more revenue and development coming our way, we continue to be cautiously optimistic and watch out for the possibilities of things taking a turn for the worse in this unprecedented time. I'm proud to say that Temple City has weathered 2021 in a fiscally responsible way. Our local economy shows signs of rebounding from last year of the pandemic, with the total building permit total valuation totaling $44 million in 2021, compared to just $17 million in 2020, and sales tax revenue back to nearly pre-pandemic levels. We're grateful to the business owners and contractors and residents for not only investing in Temple City, but continuing to reinvest in Temple City during the pandemic. Temple City continues to remain financially stable and strong amidst the pandemic. We have a balanced operating budget for fiscal year 2021 and 22. In addition, not only did the city receive a clean audit for fiscal year ending June 2020, for over 10 years now in a row, the city was awarded a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting by the Government Finance Officers Association. In another sign of our strong fiscal health, last year, the state auditor updated the annual fiscal health of cities report, which ranked Temple City in the top 15% of most fiscally sound cities in California and deemed us as a fiscally low-risk city, ranking 351 out of 423 cities, with 423 being the healthiest. There was great concern that during the beginning of the pandemic, with the economy shutting down, the city may have to substantially use its rainy day funds to continue essential city services at the same level. I'm very happy to report to the community, not only has the city maintained services, but we were also able to maintain and even slightly increase our general fund reserves, a rainy day fund, to $20 million or a year of the city's operating cost, which is available to help fill the gaps in funding for essential services and future investment in the community. Our fiscal strength has been a cornerstone of our city during the pandemic and will continue to be in the future. The City Council truly believes that keeping the city financially strong is an obligation for current and also future generations. The city also received a one-time allocation of $8 million in federal funding through the American Rescue Plan Act. We're working on a plan on how we can prudently invest this money to improve Temple City's quality of life. In the coming months, the City Council will discuss the use of this one-time funding and how to invest them responsibly in the community. Our collaboration with Temple Sheriff's Station is an excellent example of how the city continues to serve the community despite the changes going on. I'd like to thank our Temple Station Captain Mark Reyes, our Chief of Police, and his staff for doing a tremendous job keeping us safe during his first year as captain. This year is the 11th year of our Neighborhood Watch program. It continues to provide a foundation for our community-based policing approach. Because our community is actively engaged with our public safety team, Temple City continues to place in the top 50 of safest city in California. In fact, last year, we jumped 7 spots from 30th place to 23rd place on the list, and Temple City is one of only 3 St. Gabriel Valley cities on that highly regarded list. These achievements are the result of you, countless individuals, taking it upon yourself to make Temple City an even safer community. Public health has been at the forefront of all of our minds during the past 2 years. And so last year, Temple City took steps to directly help the community to stay healthy. With our community partners, the city held 5 vaccination clinics and administered over 2,000 vaccines. And during the Omicron surge earlier this year, in partnership with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Community Advisory Commission, we have set up a weekly COVID-19 test sites at Temple City Park. I'd like to thank our partners and organizers, Harold Christian Health Center, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Community Advisory Commission, and Chinatown Service Center for all their help during on these vaccination clinics and testing sites. I would also like to acknowledge our public safety team, dedicated sheriff's deputies, and Public Safety Supervisor Brian Arizumi for being on the front lines and taking on these critical service events. As the pandemic unfolds, we will continue to provide timely COVID-19 situation summaries to our community. I would like to convey our gratitude and applaud our Temple City residents for staying vigilant during the pandemic to keep our community safe. Currently, 81% of our population ages 5 and up is fully vaccinated with 2 doses, one of the highest vaccination rates in all of Los Angeles County. I encourage everyone who is eligible to go and receive the booster shots. Thank you to all our community members who have done their part to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 by getting vaccinated. It is pertinent we follow public health guidance from our public health authorities. The decisions and recommendations are guided by data and science in an effort to best protect our community. As we enter year 3 of this pandemic, I know we're all feeling the exhaustion of wearing masks and not being able to see each other's smiles. I would like to use this platform to encourage everyone to keep following the masking and social distance guidelines put in place by Los Angeles County Public Health. Masks worn properly can save lives. I cannot stress enough the importance that we do our part as individuals so that collectively we are a safer and healthier community. One of our most essential functions as city government is the constant maintenance and improvement of our infrastructure. Even though several major rainstorms recently hit the area, our city staff and partner agencies were well prepared to ensure that roadways and drainage systems were clear of debris. Because of their great efforts, we weathered the storm without flooding or blocked roads. The city's effort to keep our roads in working condition and our storm drain system stable are testament to the constant efforts of our staff to maintain our existing infrastructure. The city did not sit idly by during the pandemic. Over the 18 months, we have invested over $2 million in road rehabilitation, leveraged nearly $3 million of the state funding to build the soon-to-be-completed Primrose Park. These investments utilized state and other non-city funds to invest in meaningful infrastructure projects in the city. Our roads still require very substantial investment, and neither one-time funds nor our existing funding sources will be able to keep us ahead of the ongoing costs and maintenance of repairing our roads, which are challenges that we have ahead. Last April, we broke ground and began construction of a brand new neighborhood park on Primrose Avenue. Thank you to our neighbors for your patience and understanding for the inconvenience, noise, and dust during construction. There have been some delays during nationwide supply chain issue, but as of the State of City address, I'm excited to announce the grand opening of the new Primrose Park is just around the corner. For the first time since the city's incorporation in 1960, there will be a brand new park that will add much needed green space to our neighborhoods. The new park will boast children's play areas, shade structures, outdoor exercise equipment, and seating areas. It will also feature unique civic art elements and add 64 additional parking spaces, all while preserving its existing greenery. I look forward to seeing Temple City residents enjoying the new park. Here's Parks and Recreation Commissioner Lance Barodi, who spoke a little more on the new Primrose Park and its amenities.
I grew up bringing my kids to Temple City Park, to Live Oak Park. There's nothing better than hearing a kid's laughter when they're playing. Right here behind me, we have Primrose Park, the newest addition. The other two parks were developed by LA County prior to the city becoming incorporated. It's west of Temple City Boulevard, north of Las Tunas Boulevard on the 5900 block of Primrose Avenue. It's the first park that Temple City has had in 60 years. We are now averaging about a half acre per 1,000 citizens. LA County is averaging 3.3 acres per 1,000 citizens. So Temple City has been park poor. We're trying to get more free space, more open space. Primrose Park has been a state-funded project. We've received $2.9 million through Prop 68. We haven't used any funds from the city's budget. We have a half acre of park for the citizens. We have just shy of a full acre, including the parking lot. Well, we wanted to make sure there's picnic areas and people just to go and relax. There's a walking trail for them. There's sheltered picnic areas, a playground for little kids to run around in. And the park is designed to be drought tolerant. The plants that are going to be here. We've got a capture system for rainwater. So we've added 64 parking spaces to the business district. We've also added 4 EV charging stations, the first EV charging stations on Temple City property. So we're pretty proud about that. Being part of this project has been exciting. To be the first park in Temple City in 60 years, to involve the community in developing it, seeing that everybody's had a part in trying to get something for the community. My favorite's going to be the daisies up here. I just love how they look and how everybody will see it as they go by, and it just attract them to the park. It'll provide a fun area for the kids to play under. We just didn't want a concrete cinder block park. So we tried to involve color, shade flowers, the red, the bricks, the artwork. We hope will just make everybody happy.
Thank you, Commissioner Barodi. The Parks and Recreation Commission has been working on this since the inception of the project. So there's no one better who can speak on this project. Another new amenity coming to Temple City that has been in the works for years, the new and improved Temple City Library that is funded by both the city and the county. The library is much more than a place to read and borrow books and media. In recent years, its services have expanded widely, and it's an essential institution where the community goes to gather, learn, and grow. Construction was underway for much of the pandemic, but the county library team is getting to the finish line with this project. While the temporary library serves its purpose in the interim, I know I do not speak only for myself when I say that I have been eagerly awaiting the completion of this project. The library is an important pillar in our community that we have sorely missed. Here's our great library manager, whom you may all be familiar with, Jin Lee. She will introduce us to all the new amenities and what improvements we can expect our renovated library.
Temple City Library was built in the 1960s. So after 60 years, our facility is outdated and in much needs of modernization to meet the demands and needs of our growing and evolving community. As a fine-free library, we offer books, audiovisual materials, and also online resources, programs for all. Temple City is a very busy library. We have one of the highest circulation rates and the program attendance rates in the county library system. We would like to think the library is a people's university because all our resources are free for all, and everybody is welcome here. We are a gathering place for the community. We offer a lot of programs in the past, like story times, ESL classes, and also the young children, baby and toddler, can play at our early engagement center. I believe Temple City Library is really contribute to the quality of life of Temple City community in a meaningful way. They enhance people's life. So we're going to have a little meeting room with folding doors facing the children's area. The meeting room will have a state-of-art technologies and also a kitchenette. We're going to have a separate children's area with child-size seating and their own space and their own computer stations as well. And on the east side of the library, we have additional shelves and seating dedicated just for adults and teens. So the adults have their own separate setting and also have a computer stations with updated technologies. And we will have a laptop vendor machine. The teens can check out a laptop from our vendor machine, and then we have a space for them to set up their device as well. We're also going to have a 2 group study rooms. One of them actually is glass enclosed. We call the bubble. I love everything the renovated library can offer, but personally, I'm really interested to see how the new layout is going to play out. And also, I love the artistic internal enhancement of the library. See the color very bright, and also the storytelling panels, very interesting. So the meeting room offers opportunities to conduct a variety of programs like performer and other activities, educational, cultural events. And community groups can use it as well. And also with more and more library customers bring their own device into the library. And we have more outlets for them to use to plug in their device. So the new layout will separate the children's area from the adults area, so the children have their own space to learn and grow. And in addition, the new layout also helps contain the noise within each section. We hope to open the door to the public very soon. In the meantime, the Express Library is still there, so you can use our Express Library and also our online resources.
Thank you so much, Jen. The Temple City Library is an invaluable institution in our city, and there's no one better than Jen to lead it. Looking forward, the city is full steam ahead of its mission to continue serving the public. We will need continued participation from residents and businesses to help us chart the course ahead. For those who are joining us at this year's State of the City for the very first time, I would like to invite you aboard the Temple City train. Whether it is through joining us at our city council meetings, talking to a city council member or city staff at city events, or even through social media or simply an email, any form of communication is meaningful, and I encourage you to continue engaging with us. Our city is made up of many crucial components that keep it running smoothly. Each staff member, each volunteer, and each community member is a vital gear to our city and fuels our community's progress. Every one of us contributes to pushing along the strong functioning train we all call home. While we're not a large city, during this pandemic, we continue to improve in providing services that make Temple City a great place to work, live, and raise our families. Through our hard work and flexibility, and as a resilient community, we have not only persevered during this time, we have grown stronger and thrived. I'm proud that collectively we are indeed the little city that could. Thank you for listening. I wish good health to you and your loved ones. Stay safe, and may God richly bless you and the great city of Temple City.